Alright, so first thing first. First things first, Danielle, if we look over the intro, you probably want the title card to be a little bit longer so people have an idea of the actual title itself. And think about what kind of title card do you want? Do you want something flashing in and out, or do you want something solid, easy to read, that really introduces the topic? Okay, so coming in, the transitions are nice. They kind of show a quick little passage of time as you go through. The audio probably needs to be enhanced just a little bit from the vocals, if you can get it any higher.
I mean, Craig's kind of cute.
Again, we see that there's a dip in the level of the audio. In addition to, you see the lighting. So you can actually make clips a little brighter if you go into editing those clips from the little 3-line menu on the individual clip. You can kind of brighten the exposure a tad bit to even it out.
He's got dimples, so he must be cute. Dimples? What does that even mean?
Now, if you listen to the clock in the background, the actual volume of the clock is louder than the volume of the dialogue. And that's something you need to be really, really careful about when you actually go back and continue to work on those fine cuts.
Maybe you should mind your own business.
Now, don't worry about the fact that Charlotte was cut off there. My video editing software for me to be talking to you is going to cut off little bits of it, but it is in fact there, so don't be concerned. Now, the blackout is really quite long between those two scenes, and of course I've stopped it, but even if I didn't stop it, it's probably too long. I'd ask you why you put a blackout there, and why not use a different kind of transition to move to you being towards the board. Again, that blackout just doesn't give us a sense of flow or continuity to the actual piece. You might want to look at those different transitions. Again, look at the audio volume versus the clock volume. If you can't adjust the audio volume up, you're better off than reducing the volume of the actual clock. Again, that's a long blackout between it. I'm not sure if that's part of the editing or what's actually happening there. So have a look back and take a look at what transitions you have working there.
So it's teachers.
Now, I'm a little confused as to who this individual is. Even after having looked at your concept and so forth, is this in fact the teacher, or is this a random? How do you introduce them into the narrative? Is there another sound you can layer instead of the clock? Something like a bit of a suspenseful horror sound to give us the idea that the mood's about to change, that something's going to occur? Or is there a title card that perhaps gives us an idea who this character is? Now she says, where's that music coming from? But we don't hear any of the music.
Who's there?
there we get the concept that it's obviously a teacher. Again, those blackouts are kind of odd. I don't know if that's part of your original editing or not.
Okay. And then
Again, now we get the nice little suspense. I wonder about those blackouts, if that's just a glitch in the editing or that's the way it's going to play out. Now, why did you move to black and white there? That's the only thing I'm not too sure of. It's the first time you've used it, and while it's quite nice, it's just a departure from the rest of the film. So I wonder, is that something you do every time a teacher abducts a student? Mr. Connellan's name doesn't have the G at the end. You might just want to make that a little addition. And now the weird thing is here, you still have quite a bit of footage, and this is obviously going to be your bloopers behind the scenes. Okay. Now, it doesn't look like there's anything quite in there yet, but that's fine. What I would recommend is don't worry about the bloopers. Focus more on working on the fine cut of your film. You're not being assessed on the bloopers. The bloopers are just an extra. I would not worry about them at all. I would remove all of that if you don't have the time and focus just on making the fine cuts to your piece. So I hope this has helped. I'm going to put this up and email you back with a link. And then what I need you to do is just contact me if you have any questions about that. Okay? All the best. Good luck this weekend.